shit. This is usually when I cut to John and then he does the intro, but nope, he's not here today. So welcome back to another episode of Those Movie Dudes podcast. I am your host, Spencer Drake, joined by my good pal Nate.
Hi.
As always, no John today. He is too busy. He has I think he broke his ankle or something, so he's in surgery. So everyone, send him your best wishes for speedy recovery. So best of luck.
Yeah, that ankle must have rolled it trying to get to those fantasy drafts or whatever.
Exactly. Football season is upon us. So he is he's training. He is watching the leader. I don't know what you do in fantasy. So no, he didn't actually break his fucking leg.
He might. That might be like the price that he pays to win the league this year. But
I mean, for all I know, he could have both of his ankles broken. I mean, I hear from him like once a month now. So who knows what John's up to these days. But anyways, he'll be back at some point. But Nate and I, we're holding down the fort. We have some movies to talk about. We have some new release movies to talk about. We have some movie news to do. I'm sure we have a Nate's choice. So buckle up. I'm sure it'll be like a shorter episode. But we also want to talk about some fall festivals that are happening, some early reactions of what could possibly be coming for Oscar buzz. So that's what we're going to be doing on this episode. But yeah, what's up with you, Nate?
Nothing, man. I'm just getting ready for a nice 3-day weekend. Gonna catch up on some 2025 films, maybe pick away at the challenge a little bit, and hopefully kill a ton of zombies, on the old VR. So,
hell yeah,
yeah, that's always a blast.
What
scares the shit out of me?
The zombie game, yeah.
Oh yeah, like I'll just be in a dark room, like, oh, I'm good, and then I turn around and you just see the shape of it, and I just whatever gun is in range, and yeah, its jaw was severed from its head.
You mentioned that you might watch a couple of 2025 films. Do you have any on the docket? Anything lined up that you might be checking out?
No, not necessarily. Like, I know I'll make a Bangor trip, so I'll probably see something in the theaters, depending on what good is playing. But I haven't really seen a lot of the new releases on streaming, so I don't know if there's some that I've missed, if there's some big ones that have just
what about K-pop Demon Hunters?
I haven't.
There you go. Well, there you go. Netflix.
All right.
It's the number one movie of all time now on Netflix, which is just absurd. And it released in theaters last weekend as like a sing along, so you could go and just sing to the music, because the music itself, the original songs, I think 3 or 4 of them are in like the top 10 in like the charts for Billboard music, like Spotify, Apple Music. It's been blowing up, and so the movie has as well. And so they released the movie in theaters last weekend, and it's Netflix only movie that they actually released like in theaters. Like, okay, sure, 2 months after their streaming debut, and it made $20 million, number one in the box office.
Where did this movie come from? I
heard from Sony Animation made.
Oh, I thought you said Tony. I'm like, who the fuck is
Tony? Yeah, fucking Tony.
Who the fuck is Tony?
No, Sony Animation made the movie, and then they just didn't know what to do with it. So they're like, it's probably not going to make any money in the box office. Let's just give it to Netflix and they'll release it. They did that with Mitchell versus the Machines a couple years ago. And so they did it with this. It's the same producers that did the Spider-Verse movies, and it just became a household hit. I mean, it's crazy. So I think you should watch it. I mean,
all right, that'll probably be tomorrow's venture. Yeah, because I've been hearing it everywhere. Just scrolling through like my YouTube shorts, just random people that I subscribe to are just like, "Hey, have you seen that new movie, K-pop Demon Hunters?" And I'm like, what is going on? Like, where did it come from? Just one morning, this movie just took the world by storm. But I guess that's to be expected with streaming nowadays.
You might as well be part of the conversation and just bite the bullet and watch it, because it's gonna have an Oscar push.
And it's probably gonna win Best Animated Film, and it'll probably get a push for Best Picture. It'll probably fucking win.
Watch it. Watch it actually do it. Best Director, Best Yeah, they make up a new category, best like voice performance.
That's historic. The first Best Picture winner to be an animated film.
There's been a couple nominees.
Beauty and the Beast and
Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3
Coco? No,
and
Coco was not.
no.
Flow?
Soul?
No.
Was Soul nominated?
I don't think
No.
Soul was in there. Flow
Encanto?
was international and animated, no. Okay, maybe it's just Toy Story 3 and that. I guess, I don't know. Leave a comment down below if we're wrong. But yeah, I don't know.
We're not
Any
wrong. We're never wrong.
any physical media updates though? Do you get anything new and your local trips to Bangor to Bull Moose or anything? Anything update?
Have. Do you want me to show the people?
If you don't, you say it, or if you have.
Nothing super different. Like I got a couple Kino Lorber titles of some silent films. I've been trying to amass a collection of silent films because I feel like they're being forgotten, and I do not want that to happen. And I picked up when I visited Portland. I was coerced. I had my arm twisted by the host here into producing a film called Kramer versus Kramer.
Great movie.
Winner. Fantastic movie. Made me cry when I watched it. And then the other one was Airplane.
Oh, yeah.
I had talked about it, and then I saw it and I'm like, yeah, no, this is kind of a must. And I've watched it since then, and I'm just kind of like, yeah. Sir, please pick up the white phone. No, the white phone. Oh, okay, gotcha. Like, what the fuck is this movie? But I love it.
Hell yeah. No, I haven't picked up anything new recently. I've been kind of waiting because I know that there's going to be some Criterions coming out soon that I do want to pick up, especially in October. I don't know if you have seen the list, but we're going to have Eyes Wide Shut for the first time in 4K coming out on Criterion, which I am stoked about. Which
I'm hesitant though.
Why?
I'm hesitant buying any Criterions of Stanley Kubrick now, strictly because you brought up one day, they might as well just make a box set. And I'm like, the moment I buy all of his individual releases, that's going to get released. And I'm going to have that predicament of, do I sell the copies I have, or do I just hoard them and get the box set too?
Right. Yeah. And I actually own most of Stanley Kubrick's movies on 4K as is. I have 2001 Space Odyssey, Full Metal Jacket. I have Clockwork Orange. I have, is it The Killer or The Killer?
The Killing.
The Killing. I have that one.
Do you have The Shining?
I have The Shining on 4K. And I
you need Barry Lyndon, bro.
I do. I need Barry Lyndon. I've also never seen it.
Paths of Glory.
I need Paths of Glory. I don't have Lolita, but like I don't really want that one.
I have Lolita actually, and I've never watched it.
Not on 4K though, just like a
no, just a release. Yeah.
And Doctor Strangelove, I have that on 4K. So I mean, I need Spartacus as well. So I've seen that for like $11 that I've passed up many times, but I know that there's going to be a box set at some point because most of his movies are on 4K. There's good restorations of all of them, so it's gonna happen, and I think that's gonna have to be like a day one purchase or like a sale box set purchase, because I mean we've been begging for the Wes Anderson one, and that finally has come, and we're like, all right, fuck it, because it's too expensive.
Yeah,
I'm stoked about it, but I don't know, it's too expensive right now. But anyways, and
this is a good lineup coming up.
A History of Violence also coming to Criterion. I mean, that's one of my favorite movies, maybe of all time. Like, it's in my top 50. Could be. We have an episode on it in the podcast archives if you want to go and listen to like a 45-minute to an hour discussion of it. But it's coming to Criterion on 4K. I'm gonna have to get it because I own it on Blu-ray in like a 3-pack.
Yeah, with American History X and that Alexander.
Alexander Colin Farrell one. Never seen it. So there's a lot of good stuff coming out on the horizon for physical media that I'm pretty stoked about.
Burden of Dreams. That looks so cool because I think It's a documentary on the making of Fitzcarraldo, a Werner Herzog movie, where they literally built a life-size scale of a ship and had to like move it through the rainforest. It's just
That's wild.
It's supposed to be this chaotic documentary about the making of this super wacky Herzog movie.
Okay. Oh, there you go. All right. Well, let's get into the first movie news, or the first segment here, which is movie news. Let's get Peter in here real quick. There he is.
This is movie
News. Get away, Peter.
There he goes.
Get over there. Okay.
All right. First bit of movie news that I just kind of wanted to brush over real quick. Star Wars Starfighter begins filming and sets cast. We've kind of mentioned this movie on the show in the past, so this is kind of just a follow-up that it is now officially in production. There hasn't been a Star Wars movie since, what is it, the Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah,
2019, and like it's all just been TV since. So we're going on almost 10 years without a Star Wars movie, and I know we'll get one next year with the Mandalorian and Grogu, which essentially will be like season 4 edited into a movie. So who knows how that's going to be? But this Star Wars Starfighter is now going to be like a one to look forward to, because it has Ryan Gosling in the lead, and it also set the cast of Mia Goth and Aaron Pierre is going to be in the movie, who have been clamoring for Bond. Matt Smith is going to be in the movie, who's House of the Dragon. He's great in that. I also just saw him in Caught Stealing, which he's great in that movie as well. And you also have Amy Adams joining the cast, which is like, this is an interesting pick. And it's going to be directed by Sean Levy, which I'm hesitant about. Don't love his work, but he makes very audience quadrant friendly films, so I think he could be the right pick.
Okay,
but yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what it's going to be. I guess it's like an uncle and a nephew lost in space type of movie, which I think sounds kind of interesting. Like, let's get away from like the lightsabers and Skywalker. Let's do something kind of different with a whole new cast of characters. And I like the cast that they set. But what do you think?
Yeah, I like the sound of that, where I'm sure there will probably be a saber here and there, some gun battles, but it'll be nice to kind of have a somewhat grounded type of Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And with Ryan Gosling in the lead, he's just quirky enough, but just serious enough to kind of fit this type of role. Yeah, I'm totally on board, because that's one thing when you get into these Star Wars movies, like the most recent trilogy, you know what you're going to get, and you're just there basically for the story and the effects. Where this, I want like some really good characters, a great story to kind of follow through that can be set in this world, this galaxy far, far away, if I can be kind of boring. But
no,
yeah, no, I will definitely see it.
They desperately need to do something different with the brand. I mean, everyone's kind of getting just kind of oversaturated. I mean, I know you haven't even watched like the TV shows of Star Wars, but it's just, yeah, we got to do something different, and I think this could be a step in the right direction. But we will see. I think it comes out in 2027. Yeah, May 28th, 2027. So
who's playing the kid?
More years. I don't know. He's in the cast list, but I think he might be a new actor. But yeah. So and also Eva Mendes joined the cast, and
that's one that I did see. I was trying to. I didn't know if it was her or Eva Longoria.
She hasn't been in a movie in well over 10 years, so she's joining the cast because she's got to be close by.
It's probably placed Beyond the Pines. Yeah.
So the other bit of movie news here, Del Toro's Frankenstein debuts at Venice. So as of right now, the Venice Film Festival is happening, as well as the Telluride Film Festival. This is the time of the year when we're getting a taste of what could be Oscar potential, what is getting some Oscar buzz. So like whether it's going to be performances or acting, best picture, directing. These are like the big premieres that are happening, and we're going to go over a whole bunch of them right now. And the first one right here that's getting a lot of buzz is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. So this is your story, and obviously you're a big horror monster guy and Del Toro fan. So what do you want to talk about here with Frankenstein?
Well, I always get nervous when I get and read about the reactions from festivals because it says a 15-minute ovation. Now, imagine sitting there or standing there clapping for 15 minutes. That's so hard to believe. But I know it's been, I wouldn't say a tradition, but something that people have done for years when it comes to these amazing releases. But the 77% on the Rotten Tomatoes right now, that's still pretty freaking good. Like, I'd be nervous if it came out saying 100%, because then
yeah, that's like, oh yeah, you don't want to like overhype it a little bit, but
no,
I mean,
I trust him.
Yeah, and apparently this is like his favorite novel of all time. Like, this is his passion project that he's been wanting to make. It's 2.5 hours. It's gonna be on Netflix in November. And I've been hearing that Jacob Elordi is great as Frankenstein, and it's kind of like a different take on Frankenstein, maybe, that we've like haven't really seen before. Like, maybe like a more like, I don't want to say like romantic, but like,
you remember Kronos, Del Toro's movie? That's kind of what I'm imagining.
Like you might have more like empathy with heart. Like more heart and empathy. That's probably the right way to describe it. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see it. Production design and cinematography, I heard, are huge standouts. Like, the crafts are great. So
look at that still though. Like,
yeah, I mean,
that's terrifying.
Awesome.
That looks like what I would imagine an evil scientist's lair to look like.
100%. So with Telluride and Venice, there's a whole bunch of other films that are premiering and gaining some buzz. So which festival do you want to jump over to first?
I'd like Venice. I think it's a little bigger, maybe a little more prestige, but that doesn't necessarily change anything as far as the movies. But I would go with Venice.
We're going with Venice. So obviously Frankenstein had its premiere, as well as Yorgos Lanthimos' new film Bugonia with Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons.
I saw a trailer.
Yep. It's the remake of a movie, a Japanese film from like the 90s, I think. But I've heard that it's might be his most accessible movie in terms of an audience movie, that because his movies are kind of polarizing, especially Poor Things and like Dogtooth.
Come on, that's a family movie.
I don't think so, but
there's family in it.
Seems like it's getting some good reviews, and Emma Stone might be on track to get another Oscar nomination, and if not, collect her third Oscar. Like, I mean, that's insane.
That would be nuts.
Absurd. That'd be awesome. But that's exciting. I think Park Chan-wook has a new film that premiered from Old Boy, The Handmaiden, Decision to Leave. I mean, big fan of this guy. Have the movie right here.
Nice. It's not open, but
great director. Okay. Sorry, I've seen the movie. But this one, the premise sounded really interesting. After being unemployed for several years, a man devises a unique plan to secure a new job, eliminate his competition. I've heard the movie is just a lot of fun. It's pretty funny. It has a kind of cool like twist on or take on AI. So I'm excited to see this. I don't know what it has for a distribution, but this one could be an international pick. We'll see. Yeah,
he's one of those Asian directors that you can't really go wrong with. I think if you have like Bong Joon-ho, Park Chan-wook, Lee Chang-dong, you got a bunch of these guys that they're going to make a movie. You're probably going to want to watch it because they go right into it.
And I'm going to talk about another director later on in the review section too. You should be keeping an eye out. And today was the premiere of The Smashing Machine, the Benny Safdie solo directorial debut that he's doing with The Rock and Emily Blunt. So far, the reviews have been pretty good. I mean, that's not bad curve so far in the Letterboxd. Praising Dwayne Johnson, saying that this is definitely like his best performance. So he actually went there and he delivers. Emily Blunt is getting some praise as well. I guess nitpick would be that the movie might follow a very like traditional sports biopic that you have maybe seen before, which from the trailer kind of looks like that. But
it happens.
Great. I think it's a great news for Dwayne Johnson because I think he has entered the Oscar race, especially with the first reactions to the Smashing Machine. So that's pretty cool. And unfortunately for Nate, George Clooney has entered the Oscar race with a movie called Jay Kelly, which is a Noah Baumbach film. I mean, he's been a huge Oscar player with The Marriage Story, Frances Ha, The Marriage Story for Squid and the Whale, a bunch of other stuff that he's directed. But another actor who is getting praise from this film and supporting is Adam Sandler.
My guy.
I guess he plays a manager to Jay Kelly, who is a famous movie actor, and I guess it kind of resembles George Clooney's life as well. So let's see, it's coming to Netflix, I think, in December. So that is another movie to add to your list that could be good. Okay. And yes, the rest are a lot of like international plays that I don't quite know too much about. Was one Italian film called La Grazia that is getting some good buzz, directed by Paolo Sorrento, who has done The Great Beauty, Youth, some other stuff you probably have heard of. So that one is Italy's submission for the international play for the Oscars that is getting good reviews. So
cool.
That's kind of Venice right now. Telluride, the only other ones that are, I guess, getting huge buzz is Chloe Zhao's new film called Hamnet, which there has been a trailer. Has Jesse Buckley, Paul Mescal, and I thought Anne Hathaway was. No, she's not in it. Okay, well, it's those two actors. Oh, Joe Alwyn's in it, Emily Watson. But it is the powerful story of love and loss that inspired the creation of Shakespeare's timeless masterpiece, Hamlet. So the death of his son, Hamnet. That is what the movie is going to be about, the death of a child. And Paul Mescal's playing Shakespeare. But
Jessie Buckley is one of my favorite actresses working right now because she plays
his wife.
She's so emotional and she just gets so worked up, and she can be funny and witty but sad.
So, look at the curve already on Letterboxd. I mean, it is mainly a 5 out of 5. They're saying like this is devastating. Jessie Buckley has 100% entered the actor race for best lead actress, so she's probably going to get nominated. So as Paul Mescal, probably for his second nomination. And Chloe Zhao for best director. I mean, she's directed Nomadland and The Eternals. So this is one I think that's coming out in November that will most likely devastate you and make you sob.
I'd see it in theaters.
Yeah,
I would probably see that. Yeah,
Thanksgiving. So that's
it's one a happy day. Let's go.
Exactly. Yeah, go cry your eyes out after you eat a whole bunch of turkey and then puke in the toilet. So the other big premiere is Springsteen, the Deliver Me From Nowhere. Jeremy Allen White, Jeremy Strong. This premiered a week ago, and it's doing decent. I mean, I guess it's kind of similar to a Complete Unknown in terms of just like as a slice of life of like right on the cusp of when Springsteen gets famous and goes into like superstardom. So I don't have too much anticipation for it. I mean, best of luck to Jeremy Allen White for getting an Oscar nomination, and we'll see what happens. But I'm not the biggest Springsteen guy, I guess. So I don't know. I like him, but I'll never seek out his music on my own.
How dare you say that about the boss? How dare you? Like, we were all born in the USA. I was born in... But, like, come on now. Jeremy Allen White, this guy, and it works. He can act. And if he performs live and does all of his own stuff, then I think a nomination would be deserved. But then that's the thing with biopics. I feel like they come with like a natural expectation that they're going to get a nomination.
Most likely, yeah.
Which kind of sucks. But then again, if The Rock is going to get a nomination, why shouldn't Jeremy Allen White? So
sure. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that movie. We'll be tracking it. I'm sure it'll come out in December. It's usually
what's that? If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, because I see Rose
Yeah.
Byrne.
So that is an A24 film that premiered at Sundance. And apparently it's being described as like Rose Byrne's like uncut gems, and the fact that it's gonna make you feel uncomfortable, like it's gonna make you feel tons of anxiety. It's at the edge of your seat, kind of a thriller. What's interesting is the supporting cast is kind of unique. You have A$AP Rocky there, and you also have Conan O'Brien playing her therapist, which he's actually gonna praise. And like, it's
he's funny
fun
and
take
serious, so it
from
can
him.
be.
Yeah, but it's getting really good reviews, good buzz. I don't know when it's coming out, but I think it is going to be in the fall. But we'll see if she'll crack the Best Actress race. But I've heard the movie's just it's not that accessible because it's just a very uncomfortable movie to watch. So that is that. But
cool.
And the last movie I guess I should mention is a movie called Sentimental Value. It's the new film from Joachim Trier, who has done The Worst Person in the World and Thelma, which is, movies that we have talked about a couple times on the podcast and we're big fans of. But it's starring the same woman from The Worst Person in the World, as well as Stellan Skarsgård and Elle Fanning. I've heard the movie is excellent, 4.1 on Letterboxd, and I think it won some Cannes Film Festival awards. So that is coming out, I think, in November, December. But there is an opportunity for me to actually see a couple of these films in like 2 weeks or so. There's a little thing called Telluride by the Sea where they're selecting like a handful of these movies that are premiering to show in like Portsmouth, New Hampshire, which is kind of close by. So I think I have the opportunity to check out Sentimental Value, Begonia, Noelle Vague, Vague, thank you. Which is Richard Linklater's Making of Breathless, starring Zoe Deutch, which is like all in French as well. Jay Kelly is playing, and La Graza is playing, and It Was Just an Accident, I believe, is playing in Sentimental Value. So I could see a handful of these movies. I probably will at least try to see Begonia because that's the one I'm most looking forward to. I could maybe sneak Jay Kelly if I time it correctly. And
dangerous.
Honestly, Begonia and Sentimental Value is one that I'm prioritizing the most. So if I can get those done early, that'd be sick.
But that Nouvelle Vague looks like it would be kind of up my alley because 100%. It's about the French New Wave and
if you have the day off, come down and come see these movies.
Yeah, Begonia is definitely a must, but like that, Hamnet, Nouvelle Vague, I'd watch any of them, to be honest.
Exactly. So yeah, that's pretty much the festival shit that's happening right now. For the Oscars, we've kind of mentioned it, but just recap: Sentimental Value, Frankenstein, Begonia, Hamnet, Smashing Machine, and maybe for international we'll get No Other Choice. And last movie I do want to mention real quick, this is the last movie here for the festival circuit. There was a movie that no one knew what the hell to make of, but it's called The Testament of Anne Lee. Have you heard of this?
Right here. Is that Olivia? No,
it's Amanda Seyfried.
Oh, The Testament of Anne Lee, directed
by Mona Vaswal, whatever her name is, but she was the writer of The Brutalist. Her husband is Brady Corbet, who directed it.
Okay.
They're a partner as well in real life, as well as collaborators on movies. But she is directing this one. I think Brady Corbet wrote it. Yep. So they wrote it together. It's made under the same kind of circumstances as The Brutalist, like $10 million. Shot on VistaVision, like old school film. Has Amanda Seyfried in the lead, Thomasin McKenzie, Lewis Pullman, Tim Blake Nelson, Christopher Abbott. Good cast, 130 minutes, kind of a long movie, but look at the curve. The ratings are all over the place. For
this movie. You're either gonna love it or hate it, type of thing.
And I've heard it's a musical as well. Like there's songs and original music to it.
She can act and she can sing, so like that's not a bad casting choice.
Her performance is being praised as of now, but we'll see what happens. But that's the last movie I want to mention because that's kind of like a what the fuck. Has no distribution right now, so we'll see if A24 swoops in.
I was gonna say, based on the costumes and whatnot, I'm like, I've never heard of Ann Lee, so I don't know if this is like autobiographical or made up type of thing, because it's talking about a religious cult leader, and I'm like, I like looking into cults and stuff like that. I've never heard of Ann Lee, but
we'll see. Yeah. So put those movies on your watch list because those were probably getting the most buzz for Oscars. But let's move on to just the last bit of movie news topic here. Staying a little bit longer in this segment because why not?
There's a lot of it.
The last bit of movie news here. Let's just talk about it because we both went out and supported it. Jaws bites into Labor Day box office. This I think was the most successful re-release so far because they've been doing a lot of re-releases in the last year or two, which I mean they hadn't really done at all. We would always just like think about like, oh, what would be really fun to go and see on the big screen? Like what a classic movie would be like so much fun to go and see. And we were just talking about like Jaws or Back to the Future,
OG Star Wars,
OG Star Wars, and all of these are now coming out in like 4K restorations and like a new sound and everything. So Jaws did get a re-release to celebrate the 50th anniversary. I went and saw it in IMAX today, and I mean it lived up to my full expectations. And it's one of the best movies of all time. And you went and saw it as well last week. And when was the last time you had seen it like all the way through?
It's been a year or two. Did we cover it for an episode once?
We may have, but
that might have been why. But this was the time where I saw that it was playing in Bangor, and I was like, I have to do this. I have to like double feature this or something. And I had a blast. Like there wasn't a whole lot of people in the theater. There was probably 20, 25 people, but everyone was having a good time. Even though we'd seen the movie before, there were still moments that get you on the big screen. There was like one shot of Hooper in the shark cage that the people beside me like jumped because they weren't. Of course, you're expecting it in a way, but the way Spielberg's just a genius in how he blocks and does stuff with the camera, you're not expecting it. And then seeing it on the big screen with the sound and the score, it just amplifies. And I thought the 3D was really good too.
You saw it in 3D?
Yeah.
Oh shit! And cool.
It was like splashing, like whenever you're at water level, like in the beginning, and the water's like splashing onto the screen. My eyes felt like they were gonna water because
that's crazy
at that level. But it added to it because Spielberg's really good at depth and having stuff in the foreground and the background of his shots.
The blocking is incredible. And like that's the one thing that I really appreciated, especially seeing this up in the big screen in IMAX, because like just the use of his camera work in the movie in the screen is incredible. Just like from left to right, and there's the way he moves the camera and sets up like people coming and going from the shots and like setting up like the next scene almost by just like a pan. It's brilliant how he shoots this movie, and it was just really cool to see that done up on the big screen in IMAX like for the first time. So he was a treat.
27 years old.
Unreal. Crazy.
And did you get the little snippet at the beginning of him explaining and talking about it?
I actually watched the Disney Plus documentary this morning, like the celebrate the 50th year. It came out a couple of months ago. And it was really in depth of like the making of and everything. So that was a really cool companion piece to watch right before.
And I forgot how good it was. Like,
of course, it's amazing.
Like when you were talking about blocking, when Hooper and Brody are talking to the mayor, and they're like talking to him, and then they walk over to the Amity Island giant billboard, and they're explaining their situation, and then Quinn's story about the Indianapolis. I forgot how haunting that was. And he keeps zooming in on him, just like 1,100 men went into the water. Only 300 came out or something like that, and so I'm never gonna wear a life jacket again. I was like, oh, I want to watch this in a lake.
They touch upon that scene in the documentary, and I actually didn't know this before I watched it, but apparently they were having a hard time cracking that scene of like what Quentin was going to be talking about, and I guess Robert Shaw went to Spielberg the night before and was like, "Let me go home and just get a crack at this. Let me write a scene, and I'll come back tomorrow and we'll talk about it." And Spielberg's like, "Sure, yeah, of course, go ahead and do it." And he came back with that USS Annapolis story, which is a true story. It really happened. I mean, if you know what that is, it's terrifying. There've been movies about it with Nicolas Cage, in fact, and so it's wild. And the fact that Robert Shaw came to Spielberg with that scene already, because he's a writer himself. He's written a play and maybe some novels or something, but it's just a brilliant choice to go that direction, because the scene before too, when they're just like comparing scars, it's a very like
joking
fun scene. Yeah, exactly. Like they're having fun, like finally to relieve a little bit of tension of like what's happening, and then that scene just like, whoa. Yeah, no, there's
it sobers them all up.
Stakes here.
They're like, oh, we should probably take this seriously.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, and it's a beautiful movie. Like when Quinn's at the port at the very front.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I forget the boat terms, but he's at the front and the sun's going
in the bow.
down.
Yeah.
Yes, and he's just
shark,
standing there and they're looking at him and he's just going with the boat and farewell, that'll do our fair Spanish lady.
He's got that smirk on his face.
That'll do our fair lady of Spain. Yeah. And it's so unique. Like when Hooper goes, so how was your day? Knowing farewell that Brody's had one of the worst days ever. And then the last line of the movie is amazing because it's
I used to hate the water.
I used to hate the water. Can't imagine why. It's just Spielberg can take such a serious concept and just throw in that you're relaxed, and then the credits start rolling. And I just sat there for the credits. I'm like, I have to. Like this movie, there's a reason. I would put it in my top 25.
No,
I think.
It's my top 10.
I think 100%. It would sneak in just because I can't think of a spot specifically for it right now, but it deserves that. And just seeing the opening, not even if it wasn't in 3D, even if it was just on the screen, it still would have been amazing.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, go see it if you can, because it's I know a lot of people see it, but this checks a box off my list. Like I love seeing classic movies being re-released because you get to experience it how people during the time got to see it. So.
I just found out that The Sound of Music is gonna be playing near us in the next couple weeks, and we're gonna try to see it. My girlfriend and I love that movie. I haven't seen that movie since I was like all the way through, at least since I was like 10 or 12. It's been so long. So
I'd watched it for my challenge last year, and
there you go.
It was a delight. I think I gave it a 4.5 or something like that because Julie Andrews is just magnificent.
All right. Well, that was the movie news for this episode. But let's move on to the next segment here. We got a little Nate's Choice, I believe.
Black and white, 1 and 2. It's Nate's Choice. What you gonna do? Fight or flight, hot or cool. It's Nate's Choice. Tell me what you gonna choose.
Okay.
There we go. All right, we're here. All right, so I went a little simple with this one. It's just the two of us. So this is probably a very famous versus. I haven't seen all of the movies, but I've seen enough of them to understand what these iconic creatures can do and what they will do in the arena. So we've got the alien, the xenomorph from Alien versus Predator from Predator, Predator's Prey, Predator Badlands. What was the animated one that I gave a 5 out of 5?
The Killer of Killers.
That one. Holy crap! Because when I first thought of this, this thing's been around since what, 2006, when the first
There's
one came
there's
out,
two movies on it.
and I've only ever seen Aliens, the two most recent Alien movies, I think Romulus and Covenant.
Okay.
But then as far as Predator, I've only ever seen Prey and Killer of Killers.
Interesting.
So I don't know that much about the Predator, but I think Prey is a good place to start if you haven't seen the other ones, because it's well, I guess you might be able to say better than me. Like, how is the Predator portrayed in the original? Still highly technological, advanced warfare type of thing, or is it more like Badlands that we're gonna see, where they're kind of starting their hunt?
I mean, from what I remember of Predator, they kind of treat the creature, Predator himself, almost like Bruce the shark in Jaws, as in he's invisible. You don't really
Yeah.
know where he is, which is terrifying because he can kill you like anywhere.
Mhm.
And he just basically takes on a group of army guys in the woods. Uh, and he has these powers that they hadn't seen before. Like he can detect the thermal vision. He can that could see like their body temperature. He can turn invisible. He has these like knives or not knives, but I don't know. He has he's good at hand-to-hand combat, and he can shoot things with lasers. Like he's crazy. He has a lot of powers, and that's been consistent throughout the movies. I mean, you've mentioned the movies that you had seen. For Predator, I've seen pretty much all of them. I've seen Predator, Predator 2 with Danny Glover in New York. I saw Predators, the Adrian Brody remake, and then also The Predator, which Shane Black did. And then Predator, Killer of Killers, Hulu animated film, and Prey. So I've seen all those. For Alien, I've seen obviously Alien and Aliens. Did not see Alien 3 or Alien 4. Have not seen Alien versus the Predator, those movies. But I am watching Alien Earth, and I've seen Romulus, Covenant, and Prometheus. So I mean, I got a
Oh, I
good taste
forget about
of all of them.
Prometheus.
Yeah. And in terms of the Xenomorph and the Predator fighting, like I said, I've never seen the movies, so I don't know who actually is the definitive winner in those
If there's
films. So,
one. Like,
um, but like I feel as though the Predator is just a better villain
weapon.
and weapon. Exactly, because he can turn invisible. He has these gadgets. He has advanced technology. The Xenomorph is good at like hiding in vents and crawling down and stabbing you in the back with its like tail, and he's good at stealth. But the Predator's good at stealth too. So
Yeah,
it's
and
tough.
that's kind of where I wasn't sure if I was gonna do this one, because it felt very one-sided, but I guess we could do it in different scenarios. But if this was taking place in space, it might be a little different in the aliens' favor, because being able to adapt, where predators aren't used to that. They're used to being on a planet or something like that. But then again, they do have ships. Um,
And this isn't necessarily the question, I don't think, but this is how I'm gonna interpret it now. Okay, so deal with this. Here we go. Nate's choice: Alien versus Predator. The way I'm gonna interpret this question is, which film franchise do I prefer more? Which movies, which body of work do I like more, of the Alien franchise or the Predator franchise? And I know it's harder for you because you haven't seen a lot of the Predator films. I have seen a good amount of both, pretty much all the Predator films, I should say. So
yeah,
I would go Predator. I be mainly because of also both franchises as of 2025 are thriving. You had Alien Romulus last year that did very well. You had Alien Earth coming out currently, which I think is doing well for FX and Hulu. I'm watching, like, I've seen 2 episodes. It's good. I'm waiting for it to kind of really pick up and get my interest like really juicing, but I'm liking it so far. But with Prey a couple years ago and the Predator Killer of Killers, and then with Badlands coming out in the next couple of months, I'm stoked with Badlands. I can't wait to see it. So I'm very excited with where the Predator franchise is currently with the movies that are coming out. They also have like one guy directing it, Dan Trachtenberg. He's doing all 3 of these new ones, and he has it locked down, in my opinion. And I like the tone. I like that they're all kind of exploring different eras as well. And where I feel like Alien's kind of locked into this like pigeonhole of just like we're doing science test experiments and oh shit, well, fuck, let's run and like or I don't know, like let's go check out this spaceship. Hopefully, there's no xenomorphs. Oh shit, they're here. So I don't know. I like where the Predator franchise is currently. So I am gonna go with Predator, and plus a Predator will fuck up a xenomorph, no problem. Give it like 5 minutes, done. So.
Yeah, the only thing that I was thinking as far as the alien, like you said, is very stealth, rather large. If you get the mother or the queen xenomorph would tower over any predator. But I think solely based on fighting ability, technological advancement, knowledge, like I know predators are still creatures, but I feel like they think more like a person would than an alien that's just kind of a creature that's going off instinct. If it bleeds on the predator, then you might be kind of screwed because it's just going to eat up his body. But that's the only other thing I can really think of, unless it can penetrate Predator's armor and whatnot, which I'm assuming it can because it's a extraterrestrial alien creature. But I agree with the Predator. I think Predator would take it, but I think there's circumstances that they could throw into it to give Alien more of an advantage. But just with Prey and Killer of Killers alone, I think, and I'm a horror fan, I think it trumps any of the Alien movies. Like the original 2 are iconic, of course. They're always going to stand the test of time. But I like how this franchise is taking the lore that we know about them and adapting it and able to use it in a different way. So like Killer of Killers, you're getting 3 different stories, which is awesome. And just seeing how they all play out, that's such a friendly encounter they're having, right? Like these 2 grew up together and now they're fighting and they're like, hey.
I just typed this prompt in Grok while you were talking, so that's my AI generated image for this discussion.
And that's very accurate because that is what the xenomorph looks like, and that is what a predator looks like. So
you should do the other
AI,
one that made.
you are scaring.
Hold on, look at the other one.
Is it like a kitty, like a cartoon? What the fuck? That's 2 xenomorphs.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah,
you're going with Predator too, or Alien?
I'm going with Predator.
Okay, cool.
And I think I'm just more excited. I think you hit it on the head with the Alien movies. I think Romulus kind of went a little different and kind of went the original Alien route where there was a bunch of fighting on their ships. And that made it very secluded, very claustrophobic. So it added that suspense to it. But with the Predator, he just needs to go invisible. That's like the first thing right there that would kind of end it. You can just hide, attack from the back. Alien turns around, invisible. So it's kind of a one-sided fight, but I'm just trying to think of ways that Alien could have an advantage. Is like maybe on their home planet, in like their caves where they live, maybe they can adapt to the surroundings and the landscape, and because like in the original Alien, it could blend in with the pipes on the wall. So the predator can also see the heat. But if it's an alien creature that's got acidic blood, does it come up as red? Will it pop up on the thermal? There's a bunch of things there, but I just think of what we know now. I think Predator takes it and is the true definitive killer of killers.
There you go. Predator it is. Cool.
Where's Elle
All right.
Fanning in all this, though?
No, we'll have to wait to find out in Badlands.
So excited. I love that trailer. Just the young predator just looking up and it's scared, and then it's just like and just attacks. I'm like, yeah.
Well, speaking of new releases, let's get into a couple of new films that we have recently seen in theaters. Boom.
Yes, the new releases. Yes, the new releases. Yes, the new releases. Yes, the new releases.
I got this duck in Switzerland.
Oh, I thought you got it from the Red Cross.
Nope.
Damn.
It's a Swiss duck.
Did you get it signed by Roger Federer?
Nope.
Damn.
So in the last couple of weeks, a couple of movies have come out in theaters. We have gone out and seen some of them, and we're going to talk about them right now. That's my John intro. Yeah. So
hey, it's your beloved host, John.
unfortunately, I don't think we have any crossover films. I think we all saw different movies here. Besides Jaws, which we already kind of talked about. But let's get into the movie that you went and saw before you went and saw Jaws, because you did a little double feature. I didn't realize
afterwards.
Oh, okay.
I saw Jaws first, actually.
Good for you. This one I was surprised to see even got a theatrical release. Like, it was playing near me as well, but only at one showtime, only at like 4:00. I'm like, all right, that's kind of weird. Otherwise, I may have seen it if it wasn't only at 4. But it is the Toxic Avenger, the remake, because this was a film from the 80s, I believe, or
yeah, I think it was like 87, 86, something like that.
It's what they call a Tromo film or something like that.
Yeah,
Lloyd
Troma
Kaufman?
is like a
Troma.
yeah, it's a production studio company that just makes low budget, gross, gore out, post-apocalyptic type movies like Class of Nukem High, The Children.
Heard of these?
Yeah, Toxic Avengers. There's 4 of the original ones.
Have you seen them?
I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the other 3. I own
Avenger.
the first one. Yes.
Okay.
It is gnarly. Its special effects are crazy. The voiceovers are terrible because like 3 different people voice the Avengers voiceover. Like very news story, like, don't worry, citizen, I'm here to protect you. Like one of those stupid things.
All right.
Very racist, very gory, lots of boobs.
Sure. Okay.
Bingo.
All right. It's got a style. And this movie was made maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and it's been sitting on the shelf, deemed unreleasable for all these years. And finally, a distributor came through and picked it up, and they released it, and they had some deal that's like the first $5 million that this movie makes in the box office is going to go to support cancer research or something. So it's got a positive effect to it. I'm sure since you saw it in theaters, money is going to go towards that. So good for that. I don't really know how that ties into the movie. Maybe it does, it doesn't, or I don't know. But
well, actually it does a little bit. It has It's not really a spoiler or anything like that, because Peter Dinklage plays something Goose, Winston Goose, and he finds out that he's terminally ill and he can't afford to pay for the surgery or the medicine to help him, and that leads to a bunch of misfits and him trying to get money, and then ends up in toxic waste and turns into the Toxic Avenger, which compared to the original, he's much smaller. I was expecting Peter Dinklage to grow, but they went with a mini Toxie. Okay. Which is totally fine for the tone and the story that they're telling, because it's so bizarre and it's so straightforward. It almost got to the point where I'm like, is this even really a story, or is this just like an hour and 40-minute long like sketch that somebody just came up with? But it's got Kevin Bacon in it. It's got Peter Dinklage. It's got Elijah Wood,
Jacob Tremblay.
Jacob Tremblay, which he looks exactly the same, just a little taller and a little bit brattier. But it's if you like camp and cheese and just stupid horror that kind of tugs at the heartstrings a little bit, and you get a wacky Kevin Bacon villain performance where he runs like a pharmaceutical thing, and he's got a really bad blonde Karen haircut, and it's bonkers. It's very weird, but it has a style to it. And it's gory as all hell. So I would say go watch it if you have any interest in just sitting and watching, letting your brain rot for an hour 40. Just don't look anything up. Just go watch it, and just don't expect Oscars. Don't expect the Palme d'Ors. Expect Razzies. But
shit.
Well,
I don't know, because look at the score. It has an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes and an 86% audience, 6.4 on IMDb. I mean, it seems like the audience that this movie was made for is really enjoying it. And is enjoying it.
And I agree. Like I'll just give my grade right now. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but that is very good because Peter Dinklage, he's a decent actor, and
he's fantastic, dude.
He is.
I know you're not watching, or I know you don't watch Dexter, but Peter Dinklage was cast in the new season, Resurrections, and he is fucking fantastic in the show. And like, I just forget that he is just phenomenal in everything that he does. Like, he is just so good. And I love seeing him on screen. And he's crushing it in Dexter. And he's actually one of the reasons why I would even go and see this, because I don't have that much anticipation for it. Like I said, I don't really know anything about the Trauma films. In fact, like, I was gonna see this, and when I looked it up and saw what it was, I was like, I don't know if I'm really in the mood for it. So I ended up seeing a different film, which we'll talk about after. But I will check it out at some point, especially you saying, like, if you know what it is, you'll have fun with it, which is what it sounds like. So I think you just gotta wait for the right mood.
Just expect.
Is it like Terrifier though, in terms of the gore, or is it more like subtle and comedic? And
no, it's definitely not Terrifier level. But it's not as, I'm sure there's some practicality in the kills in this, but it's a little bit more over the top, a little outrageous with some of the stuff that he does, because he walks around with that mutated mop, and he uses that to do most of his avenging, if you will. But it's just silly, just seeing him walking around amongst people and people looking at him as like a savior, like a Captain America type person. It's a little off-putting seeing Peter Dinklage like this and having his voice come out, because I'm like, because I'm used to the original where Melvin, who's the kid in that, he's very nerdy and goofy, and then when he turns into the Avenger, he's got a deep voice and he's a superhero and all that stuff. But this is just, it's a different take on it. But if you know the lore behind Trauma and Lloyd Kaufman and what they did, this pays great homage to it and does it in a really respectful way. It mentions other movies in the universe, and it does have a little bit of heart. It's got a nice stepfather stepson relationship going on. So
all right,
yeah, well, I would say thumbs up. Go check it out. It's
The Toxic Avenger. It's surprising to you, it might actually be playing near you if you're listening. So see if it is, and if it sounds like it's up your alley, check it out and support it. If not, I'm sure it'll be on streaming soon. So the movie that I went and checked out over The Toxic Avenger is Caught Stealing, the new Darren Aronofsky film starring Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, Regina King, Matt Smith, Liev Schreiber, Vincent D'Onofrio, Griffin Dunne, and Bad Bunnies. I mean, stacked cast right here. Action
I've heard of
Johnson's
none
in the
of
film.
those people.
Yeah, of course. Did you know anything about this movie? Like,
I
was it
know
on your radar at
nothing.
all? Really?
I've seen the poster at Bangor Mall. I haven't seen a poster. All right, I've seen the poster. I haven't seen a trailer. All I know is Austin Butler, Matt Smith with a mohawk, and Darren Aronofsky.
Okay.
That's all I know.
The tagline: 2 Russians, 2 Jews, and a Puerto Rican walk into a bar. That's very good tagline because Austin Butler is a bartender in the film. No, I mean, I saw like one trailer several months ago, probably when it first came out, and I'm like, oh, okay, it looks like a fun time. Looks like a really different film from Darren Aronofsky. It looks like he's finally just kind of having fun, kind of making a little homage to Guy Ritchie in a way, because you're so used to his heavy films: Black Swan, Requiem for a Dream, The Whale, Mother, The Wrestler, The Fountain, Pi, Noah. I mean, very heavy thematic films. And this movie is just purely him having fun. And I was looking forward to that. And honestly, I had a great time with this movie. It really is just a ton of fun. And it's not like Uncut Gems in the way that it's just like you're feeling so uncomfortable and there's just a lot of anxiety, but there is just a lot of tension throughout this movie where like I was feeling myself like kind of just like making like fists, like being like, oh, fuck, like what's gonna happen next? It just kept going and going. And I don't know if this is a compliment or not, but the movie felt like it was 2 hours, and I looked at the runtime, it's an hour and 40 minutes. So I was like, that's interesting. But like, I don't know what you would really cut out of the film.
That sounds like a weird reverse. Like normally it would feel longer,
but like it didn't bother me. But I was shocked to realize that it was a lot shorter than it felt, and maybe that is kind of a nitpick. Maybe not, but my nitpick would be that I think the movie did have a little bit of identity crisis. There's a lot of tone shifts in the film, and it goes some directions in the story that was really like jarring at times. But my biggest takeaway from the film is, one, it was really fun to see Aronofsky just let loose and just kind of make a very silly, just kind of fun film thriller and have some comedy as well. And also, Austin Butler is a fucking movie star. Like, he is just electric. He has so much charisma. He is a great performer. He has range. He is fantastic. Like, he is the modern day Brad Pitt. Like, I was just thinking of Brad Pitt the entire time watching this movie. And yeah, like, he is electric. He's fantastic. And the supporting cast is great too. Matt Smith and Zoe Kravitz in particular are fantastic. But I don't want to like go too much into the story or anything like that, but it's a great time. I don't know if you really need to rush out to see it in theaters, but I think that is where you'll have the most fun, because it's just it's a great ride. It's a lot of fun. So I went 4 out of 5. I had a great time with the movie. Critics
if there's nothing else. Like, if there's nothing else playing, this would definitely be at the top of the list.
And critics have it at an 85, audience have it as at an 85, and a 7.4 on IMDb. So people are really enjoying it as well. So that's good for them. Yeah.
I also noticed that you gave Aronofsky a little nickname. You gave Darrenovsky.
Darrenovsky.
Yeah, you said that at one point. I didn't know if you meant to say that, but you just said Darrenovsky.
I just merged his whole name into one word.
He'll be like the new Beyonce. Darrenovsky. He's like, guys, my name's Darren. Okay, like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
But no, cool. No, I've seen the poster and it looked almost like, it gave me like a weird Mad Max vibe, but I think that's just from the costumes and the poster that I was seeing.
Sorry,
you're good.
I just left the whole stream. I went to hit back on the share screen, and nope, I backed out of the
studio. I was just talking to a blank loading screen. I was just like, whatever, I can keep talking. I would definitely check that out.
We also have probably some other films that we want to mention here real quick on some quickies, so we can let me pull this up here. What else have we seen? You have seen Honey Don't. Yeah. I did not see good reviews of this movie a couple weeks ago, so I kind of was like, I'm gonna stay away from it. And I saw that you went and saw it, and John went and saw it. I think he gave it a 3 out of 5. But what did you think of this movie?
This movie has a lot of potential to be like a great crime thriller.
Oh boy.
But it I can't even really explain it. It sets up this whole plot line that, like, because Chris Evans is in it, and he's kind of a evangelical Christian church leader. And so it's played up that he's like the big baddie of the movie. And so Margaret Qualley, who's Honey, what's her last name? Does it say Honey O'Donoghue? Yeah. And she's awesome. Like, I'll watch anything that she's in. She's fantastic. But she felt kind of stale sometimes as far as her character, trying to be this, I'm a tough detective woman who can handle herself against the men, which she totally does. And she is very witty, very quippy. Love her. But it just goes in a direction that I'm like, I thought Chris Evans was the bad guy in this. And then they just kind of forget about it. And then Aubrey Plaza gets involved, and they have some very intense scenes together, if you know what I mean.
Okay. All right.
Let me just say, it was very pleasant to watch, I will say. Gotcha. But it missed the mark. I think, like, I gave it a 3, which to me right now sounds a little high.
Well, to you, if anyone knows you and your ratings, a 3 is pretty low.
Yeah, it has to be a piece of crap for me to give it like a 2 and below.
That's good. It is true.
But yeah, like, the writing is great. Like, I can see a good story coming out of this, but it's only an hour and a half, and it almost takes so long. You get introduced to people and storylines that aren't even a super big deal. Like, I know they are in this world, but you don't feel connected enough to people to care enough.
That's too bad.
And it is unfortunate because Aubrey Plaza and Margaret Qualley are great. They have really good chemistry, but it goes in some weird directions where I'm like, what kind of movie is he trying to do? Because this definitely isn't like a Blood Simple or Miller's Crossing or anything like that. This is very just straightforward and just not super exciting to me.
Yeah, when the Coen brothers split up after the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, they basically, the general gist of why they split up was because they just had different interests of what they wanted to do next in their career, and I guess they felt like they just needed a change. And I guess Joel Coen wanted to do the Shakespeare movie Tragedy of Macbeth, and Ethan was like, I don't want anything to do with that. Like, I have no interest in that. So he went and did Drive Away Dolls, which I did not like at all. I saw that and just
that's Margaret Qualley and the super buff girl, right?
Yeah.
Or is it Margaret Qualley and the girl from Blockers?
Yeah, it's Beanie Feldstein and the other girl from Blockers, but I just didn't like it at all. It was too weird and just, I don't know, it wasn't for me. And this movie, Honey Don't, just looked exactly like Drive Away Dolls, just with a different story. And I don't know, I didn't have much interest in the reviews that came out. Did not get me excited, but I probably will check it out when it comes to Peacock or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't have much interest, but it's too bad that Ethan Coen isn't having too much of a success as a solo outing.
At least he's doing what he wants to do.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
At least he's got
fun.
that freedom.
I think he's writing it with his wife. Yeah, Trisha Cook. That's the wife. So,
and it's only an hour and a half. It felt shorter because I feel like the pacing was just like, oh, you meet this character, something bad happens, she figures it out quickly, and then it's the end of the movie. And about halfway through, I kind of was going, I think I know how this is going to play out, and I think I was right. So, yeah, if you want to go see Margaret Qualley act, boom, go watch it. But definitely subpar. Even though my 3 is technically above 50%, take it with a grain of salt.
The last movie that I guess I mentioned here is a movie that's been on my radar for a while, and I mentioned earlier in the podcast that when you mentioned Asian directors that are crushing it right now, this is another director that is doing fantastic work. You are better at pronouncing foreign names. Who is this director?
Kiyoshi Kurosawa.
Okay, perfect.
He did
Well,
Cure and
you know him already, exactly.
Yeah.
Because he has a new movie out called Cloud. And it's like I said, it's been on my radar for a while. And we have a podcast that he for a movie that he did called Pulse, which we really enjoyed. And I have Cure that it's in my criterions right here. Need to watch
you got it.
Need to
Hell
watch
yeah.
it.
It's the more I think about it, the more I'm like, it's
love for it to
subtle, but
be
it's creepy.
I'd love for it to be a Spooktober pick for first time watching when we relaunch that soon. But this one, like I said, it's been on my radar for a while, but it's been hard to find. It premiered at Toronto and Cannes, I think, last year, but it was available on my flight. So I was like, fuck yes, I can finally watch it. So I pressed play and sat back, and yeah, this movie is so weird. It's one of the most bizarre films I've seen this year, but it's also one of the most straightforward. And it's another one of his movies where he is using technology and the internet as a huge theme of just
metaphors,
the dangers of it, and just the isolation and loneliness of it. I mean, that's a big theme in Pulse, where it was really ahead of its time, back made in the early 2000s, about social media essentially like destroying people's lives. And flash forward. And he's once again back kind of doing a very similar thing. It's like I said, it's a very different movie from anything that you'd expect to see. And it's interesting. So I would definitely recommend putting it on your watch list. I don't know when it'll come out on streaming, but it's worth it. He's a really interesting and fascinating director, and it's only making me want to watch Cure even more. So hopefully we can check that out in the next couple of months for a podcast. But his new film Cloud is great. So
yeah, after we watched Pulse and kind of talked about it, I went on to Shudder and watched. It was like horror's greatest Eli Roth's series, where he's got all different. I think there's 2 seasons of it where they do different tropes in horror movies. So there's tropes, there's Japanese cinema, there's monsters, there's horror comedies. I watched the episode on Japanese films, and I'm like hooked. There's so many that I've been seeing that I'm like, I want to watch this, because when we watch Pulse, I still think about the woman under the stairs. Yes,
the
and
slow shot, the weird movements. Yeah,
and then
that's
creeping
terrifying. Oh, the eyes too. Yeah, terrifying.
So
stuff.
anytime a foreign or Asian director in this realm comes out with something, I'm always excited, because whether the movies are good or not, they always leave me feeling uncomfortable. As far or just you're in a world, but you don't quite. It's almost like you're in a dream. You recognize a place, but you can't figure out where, and it just feels like a mind fuck.
And especially with this director too, and having only really seen Pulse and in this film Cloud, he is a patient director. He takes his time with the story, and it's
like
very much atmospheric, and there's just a lot of like kind of just very slow moving scenes. Like this movie, I think, features one of the slowest moving shootouts in a warehouse I've ever seen. Like it takes its time. I'm like, but I'm fine with it too. I mean, like I was on a plane for 8 hours. I know where to go, so I'm like, sure, like all right, like let's take 10 minutes to move from this location to the next and fire one shot. That's fine. I don't care. Like I'm happy to watch it. So it's all good. But no, the movie was really good, and I won't spoil much about the story, but it's very much worth your time if you can.
Can you give me like a
find it.
brief like overview of like what it's about, or is it too
Essentially, it's
intricate?
about a guy that is looking for a change in a career, change in life. He's just kind of broke, and so he discovers a job that's reselling. So like just buying in bulk and trying to resell it at like kind of like under
A
market price
discounted price, yeah.
to make a profit. And he kind of builds up this reputation online where he creates a lot of enemies,
Mhm.
and these enemies want to track him down. And so it kind of leads to this cat and mouse a little bit. So
More
it's a really,
actiony, like
yeah,
less
way.
horror, more
Oh yeah,
action.
it's not
Okay.
really actiony. There's a couple of moments where it's like a little unsettling because there's some like stalkery stuff, but it's yeah, no, it's there's more action, I'd say, more cat and mouse, more thrilling. And the
Cool.
last shot is fucking stunning. It's really cool. But yeah, Cloud, check it out.
Bingo.
And then the last movie I guess I want to mention here, and then we'll log off on a shorter episode here. But you went out and saw the new Spike Lee joint, Highest to Lowest, which is
I
a
did.
remake of Akira Kurosawa's film High to Low. This one will be out on Apple TV at the end of this week, so anyone else that has that streaming service can watch it. But you saw it in theaters.
I did.
What did you think of this?
There were parts of it that I enjoyed.
Oh boy.
Well, no, it's middle of the road for me, at least. I know
Fair
I
enough,
was
okay.
seeing it getting a lot of praise from people
Yeah,
saying
a
like
lot.
like Spike Lee's back, and I'm like, wait a second. Because it felt really melodramatic, like I was watching a soap opera to a point. Do you know what
Mhm.
it's about or what High and Low was about?
I know the movie, like he's a very like well-known figure in the New York scene, and he I guess has some enemies, and there's a kidnapping and a ransom, and he has to deal with that. That's all I really know.
Yeah, it's like someone gets kidnapped and they're forced into this dilemma, but then they figure out a mix up of some sort, and
I don't know anything else.
there
Yeah.
is some suspense, but it felt very melodramatic, and there were some times where I was questioning Spike Lee's shot choices. Like
Okay.
he would instead of having like not a two shot, but you'd have one person and the other in the conversation. There was a lot of this line, then cut to this person, one line, then this person, one line, this person, and the pacing felt really odd. About halfway through, I thought the story was over, but it just kept going. I did enjoy it to a point because seeing Denzel on the big screen is great, and freaking what's the guy's name? Jeffrey Wright.
Oh yeah. Yep.
He's awesome in it, and
Always great.
he's really emotional, does a great job. But there's a lot of moral dilemma and like what the right thing to do would be in this situation, and it can be difficult if family's involved and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But Spike Lee definitely has a style, and you can see his masterwork at work, but it just the story wasn't super I wasn't super into it. And I think ASAP Rocky's in it too, and he
Mhm.
plays a part, and it's not great.
Oh,
And
okay.
he's well, Denzel's like a music producer, and he's just yeah, you're right. He has some enemies, if you want to say that, but middle of the road. What did I give it? Like a 3.5?
Oh, 3.5. I mean, that's
I
better
think. I
than
don't
great.
remember though. Let me.
The only thing that I know or that I've heard about the movie, which I'm just like, well, that's kind of weird. And it's come to expect
Three and a
from
half.
Spike Lee.
I gave.
Okay,
So
but you'd come to expect this from a Spike Lee movie at this point because he loves to throw in just like his own like personal things. It's his
Mhm.
movie; he has the right to do it as well. But sometimes it's a little too on the nose, like especially in Black Klansman at the very end, like he just cut to like real news footage where like I get what he's trying to do with the point, but like it just didn't really flow. Did it with the Five Bloods as well. And then apparently in Highest to Lowest is what I've heard is like he'll randomly just have characters like turn to the camera and just scream like "fuck Boston." Like in like apparently the movie is just very anti-Boston.
Like in the camera. Like,
yeah. So I'm like,
I want you to
like,
hear this.
what the fuck? Like why? But like, I don't
but they're
know,
in
like,
New York, and
sure,
so
like,
you get that whole vibe.
maybe
Like they're in the
context it's gonna
subway.
work. Yeah, but
They're in
it's
the
just like
subway on the trains, and
you'd expect it from Spike Lee at this point. Is all.
And it's basically Denzel Washington. He's got a beautiful younger wife, a successful family. He's living in this amazing penthouse. And then you just kind of see what happens in his life and how it kind of spirals. And it's him doing little detective work, trying to figure out what's going on. But it just felt really melodramatic. And some of the characters just felt very out of place in the movie, and some of the camera work was a little off. But overall, I did enjoy myself because anything with Denzel, he doesn't give a bad performance. It's just how was he told to perform? But it's Spike Lee, man. He's a legend. So you give him the money, let him do it, and it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. I had a decent time, so I would recommend it. Spike Lee, if you need me in your movie, I'll be your white guy.
I will definitely check it out once it comes to Apple TV this week. But yeah, that's pretty much the episode. I mean, we almost got to the full hour and 37, but it's all good.
I could keep talking.
The last thing I'll do here is just talk about what we'll be discussing on the next episode, which will be in a couple of weeks. What are we looking at here? We're probably looking at September 15th-ish or so. So we'll have a couple of weeks here. We have The Conjuring: The Last Rites, the final Conjuring film coming out in theaters. We also have another Stephen King adaptation. He's just dominating the big screen this year, and that is The Long Walk. So we'll see what happens there. There's also another Downton Abbey movie coming out. There's a Spinal Tap 2. I've never even seen the first one. Anything on streaming? I mean, I'll see Highest to Lowest. Maybe I'll catch up on that one if I liked it or not. And then there's also no, that's it. That's all the movies coming out in the next couple weeks. So we'll see.
Yeah,
let's see what happens. That's what I mentioned. Telluride by the Sea. I might have some early reviews of either Jay Kelly or Begonia or something like that, and maybe I'll have a review of a movie coming out for the Oscar season. So yeah, we'll see.
Hell yeah. Peace out, mother